Howdy folks, we are back. Just finished taking a break, grabbing some lunch. So I did some research while I was on lunch, like I mentioned earlier. I'm trying to limit research where possible. I don't want to read too far ahead, but I will Google stuff if I'm at a brick wall or I have no idea what I'm doing. It's kind of fun because we've been in the agility space for so long now, for like dozens of hours, that I feel like I understand agility pretty well, but going into literally any other skill, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I had a few questions that I wanted to ask. I'm actually going to go ahead and start moving to... I'm going to try to farm a little bit of money after all from the Tree Gnome Stronghold, so we'll start heading in that direction. I had a couple questions that I asked. One question that I asked was armor. It seemed like wearing my mithril armor is going to be a bad idea if I want to train magic, and that appears to be the case. So I learned while researching armor that there's kind of like a combat trinity in this game, like a rock, paper, scissors thing, where mages beat warriors, warriors beat ranged fighters, and then ranged fighters beat mages. I think that's right. Which is why, even though my combat level is so high compared to those dark wizards outside Varrock, it's why they kick my ass. So I have a little bit of a better understanding for that. That's helpful. The next thing that I was looking into is, well, if I can't use my plate armor, I can obviously wear this graceful set, but is there anything I can wear that will make me better at magic? And I found a couple pieces. The Zamorak Mage top, I think I already have. I got that when we did the Priest in Peril Mauritania quest. So we'll go ahead and pull that out of the bank and equip that when we do magic. There's also a Zamorak bottom that I think I'd have to go farm, which I'm okay with doing. Maybe we'll start with that. So we'll go back to the monastery and try to farm for the bottom if we can. Also get a mage hat that I can just buy at some shop in Varrock pretty cheaply. So that covers armor. I think there are other slots that I could potentially equip, but none of them are available until way, way later in the game. So I guess the rest of the slots I'll use is going to be this graceful set. And just be careful about not going into instance areas and risking losing it. Also, obviously using a staff, which we already discussed doing. Let's see, I think I went a little bit too far south because we want to cross that bridge over here. That's fine. Sneak up and head west. Let's see. I was also trying to get a little bit of a better grasp of how skilling up works in the first place, because I wasn't clear whether there's some specific incentive to use later spells or if I can get away with just casting Wind Strike over and over. It seems like there's a decent benefit to using higher level spells because you get some amount of skill just for casting the spell, and then you get a bonus based on the damage you deal. So some of these later spells will help me a lot with the damage that I'm doing. So I will try to pick up the runes to cast those later spells and potentially the staves, which is part of why we're going to the Tree Gnome Stronghold now. I feel like I'm going to need money to buy staves and runes to be able to make this happen. I might try to enchant some crossbow bolts just to get some XP as well. We'll see what the rune situation is like for that. Okay, I gotta run past this hill giant. They're still scary. And we're fine. Right, so casting spells. The one thing that I learned, the mechanic that I didn't know about before from reading about this, is this notion of splashing. And I think it's called splashing because of the little blue symbol when you miss with an ability when it shows a 0. So the idea is I think you equip bad gear for magic on purpose, like you equip a full plate set, and then you go up to an enemy and you cast like a debuff spell on them, and because it misses, you can keep casting it. You don't really get a big XP bonus for hitting with it anyway. If you hit with a debuff, you can't cast it on that enemy again until the debuff expires, so I guess that's the reason why you want to burn it that way. So I think what the plan is we're going to pick up our staff, we're going to grab some runes, we're just going to fight regular dwarves or whatever our slayer task is until we get to the point where we have a debuff that we can use. And I think Curse is the one that I read was kind of recommended, so that's not till level 19 that we'll get to cast that. And then I might look into trying to equip an armor set that gives me a big accuracy penalty to magic and see if we can find something to cast Curse on. I still don't really have an intuition for safe spotting. I know when we were streaming this game, Chaos Factor and others kept being like, oh my god, you should be safe spotting that, but I don't really understand mob mechanics and when mobs will attack you or won't attack you. I mean, it's obvious when they're in a cage or something and literally can't reach you, but I guess that there are some times where you can like capture them behind a tree or something and they won't path to you. So once we get to 19, I might do a little bit of research as to which enemy I can get away with safe spotting on. I don't need to grind magic super high, but I do want to grab, I at least want to get Varrock Teleport. So 25 is kind of a short-term goal. The later teleports would be nice also, but I definitely want to at least get that one. It seems like, I was reading through the spell list, it seems like eventually getting to high-level alchemy is going to be really useful. Just so that we can convert stuff to money without having to find appropriate shops or track down the Grand Exchange. So a secondary goal might be 55 magic, but I feel like we just did agility to 60, and that took, you know, dozens of hours, so I might not be as pumped about doing that long of a grind right now. 25 should be very reasonable. That's going to be the short-term goal, and then once we hit 25, I'll consider what we want to do next after that. In the meantime, I'm just going to see if I can find this pool that had all the frog legs in it. I know it's around here somewhere. It might be this guy up here. And we're going to fill our inventory with them, and we're going to teleport home, sell them on the Grand Exchange, try to gear up, go fight and get the Zamorak bottoms, and then start skilling up magic on Slayer enemies. I'll mute until something new happens. It's interesting that frog legs sell for so much more than swamp toads. I wonder if there's an opportunity for market arbitrage on that. I mean, I haven't been able to do it forever, but I might try to use my buy and sell slots to make a little bit of money there. I'm sure to anyone that's played a lot of RuneScape, this method of making money is very cute. I'm positive that there are a million other ways that I can make more money than this, like $5.75 per slot. But until I land on it, this is pretty good. And the thing I like best about it is it's not giving up some crafting material that's potentially XP for me somewhere else. I mean, I guess I suppose toad legs might be involved in a cooking recipe eventually, but it's so easy for me to grab them here. I feel like I would just come here and get them in that case, right? Actually, no, now I'm curious about frog legs. Hold on. Toad's legs. Like, curious, they have to be used in some kind of crafting recipe for them to be worth so much, right? I think I can be tearing the legs off while I'm traveling, so let's go ahead and warp home. Head up to Varrock. Ingredient for herb lore. 34 herb lore. This will be a really long time until I can use it for skilling, so I think that this strategy is probably fine for now. We haven't made this Varrock run in forever. I've been living on the other side of the world for so long. Slow grow pack. Man. So I guess this is the benefit of having negative weight. I guess negative weight doesn't really impact your energy regen rate, but it lets me carry an inventory full of frog legs without it affecting my weight at all. As long as it keeps me at 0 or below. Gotta love that shortcut. Oh yeah. It felt brutal while we were doing it, but I'm really feeling the value of that agility. We started at less than half, made it all the way to Varrock. Way better than way back in the day when we had none. Okay, good. I don't need to list these all separately. I wasn't actually super sure about that. God, they all sold already? That is amazing. Okay, I have a really good source of money just for standard purchases for, like, the foreseeable future. So I'm sure that that's cute to anyone watching. I'm sure there's a much better way to make money, but that seems like a shitload of money for very little effort to me as a still a newbie player. So I'm excited by that. I'm wondering if I can get some arbitrage here, you know? Not with the default price. Not at 400. Okay. So I guess the toads aren't listed often enough for me to make this viable. I could try doing 450. Everyone's smart enough to remove the legs from the toads. Got it. That's okay though. I just made a bundle of money and I'm very happy with it. So let's go ahead and get this Zamorak bottom, right? 20,000 gold. That feels really good. I'm very excited about that. I think that's my combat set, right? Oh wow. It's kind of cool. I didn't realize that the only piece that I had that was redundant with my mithril set was the body. So what's my weight? Not bad. Only 12. Okay. Well, we'll deposit this guy when we're not using it. I think that's probably wise. I guess I could... Well, and I think I have weight whether it's in my inventory or whether it's equipped, so I can't, like, carry the graceful shirt. Although I guess technically I could. I could equip it, because it's negative weight, even with stuff that's in my inventory. So I guess in most cases that wouldn't be useful to, like, carry a lighter weight thing along with a heavier thing. So I can turn it on and then shut it off once we get there. Right. Yeah, it gets me down to 6 kilograms. Very cool. Alright, well, that makes me want the pants even more. Well, I guess the pants are competing with the mithril plate skirt that I've equipped, so maybe we won't do that. It's fine. I'm gonna go murder some Zamorak Mages, try to get this bottom, come back to town, grab a wizard helmet, and then we're gonna make the trek to go fight some dwarves. It's gonna be great. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be doing something other than agility right now. Don't care what it is. Combat in this game is actually kind of fun for me. I don't know, maybe it's just the whole click and then watch for a little bit. It's just a low enough amount of second-to-second engagement compared to agility, where with those courses you need to be clicking every like 3 or 4 seconds. So I'm kind of excited because I might be able to get some stream work done while I'm eventually leveling up magic. Right now I just want to have my full attention on the game because I'm having fun and I, want to kill these mages and watch for the drop and maybe get some combat XP in the process. But we'll see if skilling up magic is brain dead enough that I can get my rerun database updated and maybe my subscriber database updated for the month without having to shut the game off. I have to play this game more to understand which skills are really AFKable and how often I'm going to be able to do them. I don't really have that intuition yet. I guess I've learned that agility is not one of them. I got this, I think I mentioned during the live stream, but Final Fantasy XIV I got to a point where I could basically AFK craft, where the crafting macro took about a minute, and I could get all of my work done in the space of a minute. There is nothing that I work on stream that I need to have more than a minute's worth of focus. So if we can find a skill that at least gives me 60 seconds of AFK reprieve, that would be the dream. Alright, let's fight these mages. Ooh, there's an altar in this room. That means I can have prayers on all the time, right? Hey, so I was thinking, I was messing around while I was doing the agility course, and there's this thing called quick prayers. If I understand prayers correctly, they aren't draining on ticks where you're using them, they're draining like every second. So I wonder if it's possible to like turn them off and then turn them on in combat to get their benefit without consuming the points quite as much. So I have to assign more of them as quick prayers if I'm going to try doing something like that, right? Defense. Guy's actually hitting me pretty hard. I should have brought some food. I didn't really think about that. But I have a feeling that might actually work. I should see if they like designed the game intending that people would turn their prayers on and off that quickly. I suppose it's possible. May as well leave the rapid heal on too, since I've got the altar there to refill constantly. That's super convenient. Wonder how many places in the game you have where you can get away with that. I wish I had other things that I wanted from these guys. This would be a fun place to train magic. But I definitely want to focus on... Hey! Wow. That was quick. I thought it was going to take longer than that. Well, I guess I'll kill a couple more and see what they drop. Just for funsies. Let me go ahead and set up quick prayers. So I know I'll be using these. Bald monks are the easy ones, right? A prayer again, that's exciting. Been a while. I guess I'll need to get a prayer where I can see the turn-by-turn effects of it to know if turning it off and on like that is effective. Imagine getting the timing right might be pretty complicated. We'll go ahead and knock out Defense 21 while we're here. May as well. Then we'll bail. Flabbergasted by the lucky drop, right? Dude, I think I got crazy lucky with the pants drop. When I was looking it up, I think it said it was kind of uncommon. It was like the second mage that I killed. Or monk, rather. Okay, my health is low enough that I don't think I can safely kill another monk, so I'm actually just going to head back. Maybe I'll kill some bats on the way to see if I can top off my defense XP, because I'm really close to it. I don't think the bats can hurt me anyway. Their bones give slightly more prayer XP than regular bones, if I recall. Hey, there it is. Alright. Well, we may as well hit prayer 23 for out here, right? I'll try to hit prayer 23, and then we'll be done. Then we can go do magic. Ooh, piece of candy. I think it's just 5 bats to get a prayer level, so I just will knock it out. I think since I'm going to be doing magic soon, defense makes more sense than attack or strength, so I don't think those stats matter to a mage, but defense might. I think defense does for what gear you can qualify for, but the magic stat is definitely the bottleneck there, is my understanding. Here is Prayer 23. Very cool. Alright, now we're going to head back to Varrock, stop by the bank, put our mage set together, grab staff, go buy a big stack of mine runes, and then we're going to go murder some dwarves. Probably going to grab some food while we're there too, just in case. I don't know how much damage I'm going to be able to withstand while fighting the dwarves. I can try to see if there's a place for me to safe spot them. Maybe I can try to practice that mechanic while we're out there. So if I'm understanding weight correctly, the big deal with weight is that it changes the rate at which you consume energy while running, not the rate at which you regenerate it, which is strictly based on agility. So I guess having this gear with me makes a pretty big difference when I have armor. Alright, I needed mind runes. Take some chickens out. Wanted the staff. This guy back. Just want to equip all this shit. Looking cool. Character looks pretty sweet, especially with the graceful set on top of it. Oh, which staff am I using right now? Hold on. Staff of Earth. I actually didn't know that I had that. Okay. Okay, what are my other choices right now? Just want to make sure there's nothing else I need to bring with me. Probably good with this loadout. I just gotta buy some runes. Oh, I need this to figure out what my Slayer task is, right? Okay, we might be good. Gonna go grab a wizard hat, which is somewhere in this town. I actually don't know where, so I'm gonna have to search. Combat training, shop. Oh, we have to hit the magic shop anyway, right? It might be this closed shop down here. South. Due south. Still rolling negative weight, which is cool. It means we've got room to pick up some loot and not have it affect our energy drain. I have no idea how many of these I'm actually going to use in practice, so I'm going to start with that many. And I'm probably going to have to run back here to change out which runes I'm using in case I get a new spell later, so I'm not going to worry too much about planning ahead on that one. Just wanted to get something started. Stick with that for now. Hook-nosed Jack, huh? No idea if this is the right shop or not. Let me see what you've got. There it is. Blue wizard hat. Yeah. Color scheme is going to look awesome. Oh, I didn't actually buy it. Whoops. Need to get used to the shop system in this game. Buy one blizzard. Okay, here we go. Sweet. I don't know, I think that looks sweet. I look like fucking Mickey Mouse. Hell yeah. Sorcerer's Apprentice cosplay. Alright. As Mickey Mouse, let's go kill some dwarves. Can probably deposit my graceful shirt now since I'm already negative. I mean, I guess I could use it to mitigate the weight of any loot that I find, but the risk of losing another item is probably too high for me to want to mess around with that. I'll just go ahead and deposit it. It should be fine. I actually kind of dig how my character looks with the red and the blue. I don't know. I don't think this game has a transmog system. I still haven't officially researched it. Kind of a bummer if it doesn't, but... Dwarven Mine. Follow the road west. Basically, if I ever have to go to Camelot or beyond, like whenever I do my agility training, I should always finish by... Oh, I forgot I had prayer on. Oh well. I should always finish by grabbing those frog legs, because I can get a ton of money by my standards. I think that person there with the heavy armor that was casting stuff on a barbarian, I think they were doing that splashing technique where you, like, intentionally miss. I guess if you have the runes for it, it's kind of AFK. Provided the thing you're hitting can't hurt you, maybe. Alright, so let's test out safe spotting. Can I safe spot by attacking one that's like on a level above me? Or can I get up there with the guys that are up top there? Through some shenanigans, maybe. I might have to go up to here first. So the problem is I can't get to their loot, right? This works. That's fun. Okay. Well, we're going to be leveling magic for a bit, so I'll unmute if anything cool happens. Level 9 magic. Earth Strike. Okay, I probably can use my Earth staff for that. It's got to be better to use ones that only have one rune associated with them, though, right? I don't know. It seemed like Fire Strike is pretty good for leveling. We'll see. Slayer XP. Very cool. Safe spotting is not as hard as I was worried it was going to be. Right on. I think I kind of understand the premise now. Although this is enough of the mechanic that they teach you at a tutorial island. Magic level 10. It's fun to be back in the realm of quick skill ups. An hour per skill was getting to be pretty brutal. Magic 11. Now cast Weaken. Slayer level 2. First Slayer level. That's fun. Ooh, they drop crafting materials. That makes sense. Very cool. There we go. Getting the hang of it. Magic 12. What's happening? So depending how long this is effective and how long it takes this long to kill targets, this is definitely AFK enough for me to get some work done. I continue to do it with full attention because I'm enjoying it right now, but it'd be good to keep in mind that this will be an option eventually. Okay, so I think at 13 I need to go back to Varrock. Because I think I want to switch to Fire Strike once I have access to it. To get more runes for it, buy the Fire Staff, all that fun stuff. So it still uses Mine Runes though, so I can maybe increase my stack of those. Figure out how many more of these I need to do. How am I doing? 13 more. Hey, Magic 13. Wonderful. We'll finish off this dwarf, go back and grab the materials for Fire Strike, and we'll come back. And I actually don't know what happens once I complete the task, the Slayer task. Maybe he sends me to fight something else, so... That might slow things down a bit if I have to keep changing enemies, but hey, it's fun right now. Whoops, I forgot. I'm so in the zone with fighting these guys that I forgot we gotta go get Flame Strikes. We'll do it after this guy dies. $14. I'll grab the hammer. Looks like I could sell it. 0 kg. Thank you. Graceful equipment. Let's head back to Varrock. Hit points level 23. Also, holy shit, there's a significant difference in the amount of XP I get from casting this. I thought it was just going to be based on damage dealt. Slayer level 3. Oh, this is really exciting stuff right now. I gotta say. Good lord. Might be over-killing these things. I guess we'll see. Talk about a jump in efficiency. Magic 15. Just remembering how long it took us to skill up those combat stats earlier, right? Because the fact that you get XP whether you hit or not is kind of a big deal, huh? I really gotta practice pathing in this game. I do not have an intuition for it at all. I really gotta work on my pathing. I'm very bad at it. I feel like pathing is the skill cap in this game, understanding how janky it is. I think of it in terms of tiles, maybe. It looks like there's like individual squares that I can see. Magic 16? Slayer level 4. Cool. Mysterious old man. This is the maze, right? Cool. Let's try it again. I like they designed these walls to make it hard for a bot to be able to see what the gates are. Now that I know to look in the lower right, I see the thing that says how much of the reward is left. This is the right way. I think I might have just gotten turned around, yeah. Whoops. Bummer. think this is it down here. Okay, I'm getting a better handle on how these are constructed. This is one of the better songs in the game, I feel like. %52%. I think that was better than my last attempt. What do we get? 250 feathers. 3 noted mithril ore. I think that's it. Probably some money, it looks like. Okay. Well, I'll take it. It was free. Magic 17. You've completed a task. Return to a Slayer Master. Okay. Can I just call him? How am I doing? Something new to hunt. Come and see me when you can. I'll give you a new task. Interesting. So you can't get something new to hunt just by talking to him on the phone. Alright. Well, that's okay. I could get some more money while I'm there anyway. So we'll go home and deposit all this stuff. Warp over to Camelot. Grab the new batch of things and repeat. That'll be great. Need to see if I can make gear sets or something similar so I can quickly swap between useful things. Because I'm kind of a dummy, I technically wanted to go to the Grand Exchange. I forgot how to bank. Just kind of an autopilot. So we'll head back over to the Grand Exchange and deposit everything except... Well, no, I'll deposit everything so I have a full inventory for swamp toad legs, right? Am I doing? I guess my cooldown's up on warping back home. Alright, let's just do deposit all. Still minus 3 kilograms. Okay. Just in case I get hit by a hill giant, I'm probably fine at this point. It's the only thing that's at all dangerous, but I feel like it's probably good to play it a little safe. Take the coins for now and I'll redeposit them at the Grand Exchange after I buy my teleport. Guess since I have to make this run so often, maybe it's worth grinding up to the Camelot teleport. 45. That's pretty far off. I could do it though. It's not the end of the world. Guess if I can teleport to Varrock, it lets me get to the Grand Exchange and buy a teleport to Camelot, which is never super expensive. I guess I need to have the runes to be able to teleport anyway, so... We'll see. 25 is my tentative stopping point, and I'll think more on it once we get closer to that. Here, let's just stack a bunch of these, right? I'm gonna get some of the money back by heading out anyway. Now I don't have to necessarily be at the Grand Exchange. I can warp back to Lumbridge, pop at that bank, and then teleport to Camelot. Okay, cool. Off we go. Long walk. Going to... what are we doing? We're talking to the Slayer Master who's in the Tree Gnome Stronghold, I think. And then we are... we're going to gather a full inventory with the frog legs. I guess while I'm there, there is a bank in Tree Gnome Stronghold, right? I could farm frog legs for a while just to get a bunch of money. How far is it from the swamp? Not too bad. Okay. So, I might think about doing that. We'll see. That's my Slayer Master. Could honestly be worse. I don't need to get too greedy for money. I'm doing fine right now, but it might be nice to have a few stacks set aside, getting like the hundreds of thousands of gold, or 100,000 gold. So I don't have to take a break from what I'm doing just to get money later, right? Man, I feel like 60 was a great stopping point for agility to do other stuff. I no longer feel constantly pained when I'm doing anything other than agility training. That this could be faster if only I was higher. Just knowing how much would go into getting it higher than 60, right? So I like the idea of 8 days after today, or 8 days of RuneScape play, we'll be at the soft cap, and then we could probably not touch it after that. Well, once we have the full graceful set, anyway. I feel like I should stay away from stuff that involves a full inventory, like mining and smelting and smithing and all that fun stuff, and crafting, until I have the full graceful set, which I definitely should be able to make happen. Just having to return to the Slayer Master, I feel like that's the worst part of the skill, right? Maybe that wasn't her. Shoot, where was that trainer then? Let me check my list here. I think it's under Slayer Guide. Masters. Oh, I could do the one in Canifus. No kidding. Which one was I thinking of then? Could have sworn it was Gnome Stronghold this whole time. Maybe it was Burthorpe. I don't think it was Wilderness. Huh. It must have been Burthorpe. I just remember traveling north. Well, I wanted to grab more money anyway because I spent almost all of it on runes, and I'm probably going to need to buy more runes once I unlock new spells. So, here's the plan. We're going to go ahead and stock up on frog legs, do a few trips of that, and then we're going to teleport back home, and let's do Canifus. Sure, why not? Got level 20 combat. Hopefully whatever it gives me is something that I can continue to safe spot, but who knows. Sorry, gnome, I didn't mean to kill you. Accident. Okay, so I have to go out of the swamp and around in here to hit the bank. This might actually be faster. Go south and then up and around. I might just grab the toads. I can always do the tearing while I'm walking later. There's so many of them here. I guess it's just people are lazy? They feel really overcosted for some reason. It's okay, I'll nuke the market for it. I'll just do everything in my power to resist going to the Grand Exchange to spend my money on items that I need for skilling up, like bones and the like. We're not an Iron Man, we're a Copper Man. Alright, this is going to be several trips, so I'm just going to shut up and transfer them back and forth. Fast forward. Okay, I have a much faster way to do that now. I have to be careful about eating the frog legs, though. It's kind of cool. I've got a slightly speedier method. Oh, the bank's on the top floor, bummer. I touch it from down here, because that would be really convenient. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's not the bank. Wait, there's two banks here. What's that all about? Maybe it doesn't show me a hover over. I'm not close enough to it. Hold up. I gotta find a way to get up on the wood. Oh, I might have to go in the center. That's a little bit further of a walk than I thought it was going to be. That's okay. I think that makes the other entrance to the area from the swamp more efficient than the one on the bottom, since I have to climb into the building anyway. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. If you have the item in the bottom right, you can just right-click, left-click, right-click, left-click, spam it really quick and get your frog legs. Oh, I'm going to crash this market. Someone that's making frog legs potions is going to be very happy soon. It's going to be crap. That part of the soundtrack, that cheat sounds just like the instrument whistle that's used in Super Mario RPG in the Frog Fuchsia's zone. That's kind of cool. So I know people were talking earlier about using the mini-map to travel, but I think that's probably at a lower resolution, because I think I can click all the way at the edge of my vision. Yeah, even further than what's visible on the mini-map. Maybe back in the day at lower resolution or something. I gotta play a Choose Marsh theme from Final Fantasy IX, right? This is silly, but there's probably an optimal route for farming swamp toads. It looks like they respawn really fast. There's probably like a circle you can do. Hit them in the most density. They're densest in the center here, I think. Ooh, I think I found what might be a perfect loop there. Cool. So good. Optimization and everything, right? Even if you're just grabbing frogs. Do one more run, because then we'll get at least 100,000 gold from all of that if we sell all of it at 500 apiece. Elegant number. And then I need to stop here soon, so I think what we'll do is we'll get this last run, bring him back, deposit him, teleport home, head to Varrock, go to the Grand Exchange, list as many of them as we possibly can. It's technically, if I'm being efficient, I don't need to bank them. I could always warp and just carry all of them to Varrock, but whatever. I want to see them all in the bank at once. Very nice. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. So, we were talking during the live stream about this. I didn't get a lot of time to go into detail, but this is why I'm afraid and why I want to try to generally avoid buying things from the Grand Exchange that are used directly in skilling up. I want to make them myself because, you know, granted, the Swamp Legs farm, or the Frog Legs farm, isn't going to last forever. Eventually, I'm going to tap it out, I'm going to crash the market, and it won't be worth doing anymore. But I don't like sitting and doing the math and going, could I actually go and fight enemies and bury the bones that they drop? Or could I just go collect Frog Legs for 1,000,000 hours and get prayer XP? Because it's so degenerate, right? If you look at your skill list, you try to think about how many of these skills you would level up by farming for frog legs or whatever item that you're abusing, right? And that's my fear. I don't want to find an item that's like that, and then RuneScape becomes frog leg farming simulator. Game Saucer was making the point, like, well, you can't get away with that because, you know, you'll oversaturate the market, and that's true for any one thing that you do, but you can always find something new, right? Especially if you're using those numbers. And it's not a terribly interesting game to me. Let me hunt the game world to find the next frog legs, right? Or like if I were to level rune crafting up really high and try to make money off runes, it seems like that's a very possible thing to do. But then I just use rune crafting to level everything else up. I don't like it. I still think the benefit of being able to sell is high, because the ways you can get money from NPCs through selling objects is quite low. That's a hard call, though. I don't know. I was really tempted to do Iron Man when we first started playing. Not because of watching Swampletics, but just because of not liking trading in MMOs. Really at all. I've had lots of experiences spoiled. It's kind of like having a game genie. I think I mentioned in Diablo 3, trading ruining Diablo 3. Having an auction house means that it's easier to play the auction house than it is to play the game. But I think through a personal restriction, I think the fact that I'm streaming this, or not streaming it, but recording it and posting it on YouTube means that my normal struggles with controlling the urge to pop on the market board and buy all the things I need will be a little bit controlled, because I've come on here and said I don't want to do this, and if I'm going to do it, I want to like make a good argument for why I'm doing it. So I feel like I'm being held accountable. Even if no one ever watches these videos, just the fact that I'm uploading them makes me a little bit more hesitant than if I was just playing this game for myself in my spare time. So like I said, Copper Man, not Iron Man. Tin Man. And I try to do it through a loose general restriction. Still think it was okay to buy this mithril stuff. I feel a little bit bad about it, but it seems like the effort I would have had to gone through to get it while at low agility would have just been enormous. So I think as a goal, I'm going to want to replace my own mithril set at some point and earn it that way. Sell the one that I bought back to the market board, or throw it out or something. And then from that point forward, now that I have high agility, I don't think I should ever have to buy a big gear set like that again. I can even sell them at equilibrium point. They must have that much volume. That's insane. Still at the equilibrium price. I'm just shaking my head over here. How much demand is there for these? What would I have to do to saturate this market? I'm kidding, but I feel like now I shouldn't post these videos, right? Well, maybe someone will post in the comments and be like, the amount of money you're getting per hour is nothing compared to what you could be getting, right? But feels pretty good, though, for the effort. Wow, all 200 toad legs sold at the equilibrium price. That is insane to me. I thought I'd have to undercut just a little bit. There must be massive buy orders out there for these things. 128,000 gold. 128,000 gold. Good lord. Wow. I just have to admire that. That's insane. Okay, it's time for me to stop. So I'm going to sign off there. Next session, we're going to go back to doing magic training. We're going to try to go to Canifis and get this Slayer task, see what the deal is with it. If we don't do Slayer at the same time, I'll try to find something else to kill that drops something that we need to level some other skill up. This has been fun, though. Catch you next time. Which to you will be in a few seconds. Hey, we're back. We might have an hour or so to do a little bit more mage training. I think what we wanted to do for that was to go to Canifis and find the Slayer trainer there, figure out what targets they give. If Slayer doesn't seem tenable, we'll try to find something else to kill. But if that's the case, I need to dump most of my gear, so let me go ahead and do that now. Equip. Grab these guys, grab my runes, grab my fire staff, and my hats. Draw all. That's a thing. Okay, and off we go. I get turned around really easily and thinking something's north when it's not. That's basically what happened there. Task is to kill hobgoblins, 57 of them. Where are they, though? Where are hobgoblins? Ooh, they're pretty high level. Let's see if I can safe spot them. Edgeville dungeon. Alright, cave. No idea where to find these guys. I don't think I've seen them before. Hobgoblin. Old school RuneScape wiki. Oh, level 28. I could do those ones. Location. Safe spottable in the Edgeville dungeon. Where the hell is that? Where is Edgeville? Oh, let me try searching. Oh, wow. I don't see a marker for one. Edgeville dungeon. Let's see if I need to do something special to get in there. Trapdoor south of the Edgeville bank or a locked shed. Okay. I can roll with that. Let's head over in that direction then. It says if it's got safe spottable stuff, like that's the dream, right? Hopefully it's not instance. If it is, I think I'm going to bail and drop off my graceful equipment. But if it is, then... if it is instance, we're going to drop off my graceful equipment. If it isn't, we'll just give it a shot. Hope for the best. It's a cool shortcut there. I'll keep that in mind for later. Hopefully if they're safe spottable, I can still collect their loot. I guess we'll see. I don't think it's instant. I think it warns you when it is, right? Giant rats. It's somewhere in the south, right? Oh, hobgoblins, it just marks it. It's really nice. I wonder if that's OS Buddy marking it. Maybe. Who these guys are? Can't reach them through a wall. Okay. Some kind of gate back there, though. Look at the boons. Might be worth trying to fight the skeletons later, we'll see. Squeeze through obstacle pipe. What is that all about? Oh, it's a shortcut. To a totally different area? That's cool. Oh, the Here Be Dead stuff, that's gotta be... Oh, shit. Let me see if I can head him through the gate. I can, okay. Could use this to level up if I need to just catch up a little bit until that one skeleton leaves me alone, you know? Because I don't know if they respawn too fast for me to kill them and then move past them, or what the deal is. Hey, Magic 18. Probably should have brought some food. Oh well. Oh my god, what the hell just hit me? That thing? No, 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 run away. I think these are the Hobgoblins. Run! Don't let this be my first death, please. Okay, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna die. Run. Please don't get one shot. Turn around the heart rate monitor, it's pretty high. I said probably be fine, but... Okay, now I know to bring food down here. So, I feel like the way I really interpret this is that I need to get my combat level up, just in general. So that I have fewer things aggroing me so that I can actually focus on the Hobgoblins. Before I do magic, I want my Varrock teleport, but I would like to be a little bit higher in combat. So I am going to... let me think about this. I could just keep safe spotting the skeletons in there for a while. Alright, I think we're going to do this. I'm going to safe spot the skeletons until 25. I don't think that that's terrible. This guy can get some big hits off on them. They've got a good amount of health. I assume that they have some interesting drops. So, safe spot the skeletons until 25 magic. And then, I guess that gives us a new task. Then we're going to switch to... attack, strength, and defense and get those up. Maybe I can try to get attack, strength, defense, and magic and hit points all up to 25. And I should probably do ranged at some point because I think that contributes to my combat level. Like, the thing I'm more interested in here, to be honest, is enemies leaving me alone, like not aggroing me and me getting to choose which ones I fight. I'd like to be able to explore more areas safely, and I think that depends on me leveling up those skills, so that's going to be my plan. To play around with and see what actually drops from skeletons to see if they're worth fighting or if there's something better in the world that I could be tracking down instead. But I like the safety of that strategy since it's so close to that gate that I can close. Right? We're going to stop in Varrock, hit up a bank. Grab some food this time. Should probably start making better food. Because food is food right now, but... Why will you not jump over the fence? I've struggled with this shortcut for some reason. It's like pathing through the tree or something. I feel like that took longer than just going the long way. Whoops, I was trying to turn off my prayer by doing that. I forgot that those are my quick prayers. Oh well. Someone on the wiki mentioned that brass key is a way to get in through a different entrance. Must be that entrance there, the Hobgoblins and the Hill Giants. Maybe that's convenient for reasons. It's interesting, the gate can be passed through, but not the fence on the sides of it. Magic 19, very cool. I feel like getting everything to 25 is going to be a cinch at this rate. Well, I think the regular combat skills are much slower to level than this. This is a popular enough area that maybe I should switch to a different world. Let's see. I haven't tried doing that yet. It hasn't been necessary. Practice my safe spotting. It might be that just any obstacle that they can't walk past, as long as I'm in a direct line from them, tiles. Yeah, okay. Oh, shit. Don't accidentally walk and path out of the way of it. Make sure you attack. I wish I could have like a root myself, but... Magic 20. This is so fast. It's ridiculous. Can now bind, cast bind, and members can now wear Ceresian armor. Okay. Magic level 21. Low level alchemy. Oh, that's cool. I can transfer items into coins. I'm gonna try doing a world hop here. It seems like this world is ridiculously popular for some reason. Assume these are player counts in green. Dangerous world? I mean, it's PvP or something? Oh, it's not warning me. Okay, I understand. I don't know, that could be ping too. Guess we'll see. It's a small bummer that all I'm getting are bones to drop, but it's okay. I can probably kill the Hobgoblins when I go to train combat. Well, maybe not the Hobgoblins, but maybe just coming in here with an armor set is a good idea, so I can get over to them and find a spot, because my problem is it was too dangerous over there for me to even find a spot to sit and start fighting them. It's like 25 is a good first target. Hey, hit points 24. Hit points grinding is easy with magic. And magic 22 right there, so close to 25. Change things up. Could probably go ahead and skill up range in here. Ranged. Like that's not a terrible idea. At least burn through all of my my arrows, right? So that contributes to my combat rating and might make it so that enemies are less likely to attack me. Since it's the lowest one, it should skill up the fastest now, right? This place is super bumping for some reason. I don't understand it. It's like a free-to-play thing or something, maybe? Yeah, no idea which one of those is ping and which one of those is players. Magic 23. 2 more. Water bolts. Cool. Could try doing that curse shenanigan at some point too, since that just works forever, right? Whatever enemy we do it to, we probably want it to be one that's permanently safe spotted. I like getting HP training from this though, so that's why I want to keep doing it with damage. Maybe I can manage safe spotting better without having to rely on the gate. Magic 24. Very good. One more. I really need to understand how to keep my character from pathing towards things that I've successfully safe spotted. I run into this problem repeatedly now, and I don't really understand it. Magic 25, we are done. Varrock Teleport is now available. Just need to get the runes for it. Air. So I should have an air staff on me. I guess it's law runes, maybe? Okay, I'll look into picking some of those up. I don't know if the main rune store sells them, so that might also involve me having to do some wiki-ing. I'm about to come back in here with a set of armor. Looks like I don't need to reserve a ton of inventory space, at least with the way I'm currently playing. So I'll probably keep my mage gear so I can just freely swap to it. That should be fine, I think. See, that might change once I'm actually able to fight the Hobgoblins, but I'm just double checking that I cannot hit them through this wall. That would be too convenient, right? Can't reach that, yeah. Maybe it's through that room. That's my next best guess, the one with the brass key. I just didn't get a chance to get to it because it was too dangerous. I feel bad fighting enemies like the skeletons that aren't progressing some other skill at the same time, but it was a pretty quick burn to knock out 25 magic, so... I'll look into the situation with the cost of runes here. I always assume I'm facing north when I pop out from somewhere. Let me look that up now while we're on our way over there. Kitties are starving even though they already ate. Law rune. Using all teleportation spells and telekinetic grab. Main source of raw runes is monster drops. Purchase in the mage arena and the wizard's guild after completing the hand in the sand. Okay, so there's a bunch of quests I have to do first. Let me see what it actually costs to buy. Hold up. Wow, that is more expensive than I was expecting. I guess it's cheaper than the consumable teleport. Out of curiosity, what does a Varrock teleport cost? Okay. Guess we'll just take the ones that I've already collected for now, because I already have a few. I guess I don't need to be stingy with money, right? I have like hundreds of thousands and I found a really efficient way to farm a ton of it, so why don't we just buy a bunch of them? Store price is 240 coins, it's actually cheaper. Runes are something, anything that's sold in a shop I'm completely fine with buying. Should be enough to like last me basically forever, right? How did I get them? Oh, shit. Probably go buy some fire runes just in case. And the air staff, deposit all this shit. We have 150 arrows here. I want to make sure that I always have the resources to do this teleport, so I'm going to get some fire runes too, even though I can switch between staffs and choose which one I end up using. Kitties are meowing because they're so angry. They're starving to death and I haven't fed them, and that's mean of me. Terrible, awful, no good person. I forgot to take my money out. I'll do that now and then we'll... Okay, so I'm thinking about it. I think 30 in attack, strength, defense, magic, and eventually ranged is a good goal. And hit points. Oh, random event. Look hungry to me. I tell you what, have a pie on me. Have a pie for free. Hope that fills you up. Meat pie. Oh yeah, let's hold on to that. It's quite a bit more healing than what I have. Anyway. If I get them all to 30, then I can... My next goal can be doing everything that I need to do to craft myself an adamantite set. I think that would be fun. I feel like we're far enough along now that I can probably start focusing on smithing and crafting and that sort of a thing. I guess I'd still like to have my full graceful outfit. I was hoping to have that before I started doing any mining or anything that required having a full inventory. But I can probably roll with what I got. We'll see. I was asking way earlier, in an earlier VOD, someone's probably already answered this question, but I think I figured out why the tracker gives you things in terms of kills. Because if it can estimate the number of hit points of the stuff you've been killing, it can know exactly how much XP you'll get, since you can't over-damage. But I guess it estimates actions with magic, because you get magic XP up even when you miss, right? Alright, so even with my current amount of armor, I'm not really prepared to fight skeletons to raise my combat stats. At least not my melee combat stats. So I'm gonna have to find something that's less brutal. Can't quite hit me that many times. I guess I can alternate between magic. I also don't have to fight the 21 guys, right? I could fight the ones further beyond the gate. Let me try that. There are some lower level ones back here. There was like an 18 one somewhere. I go back to cows and then I'm getting leather again. At least doing something else that's productive. I could also just Google good things to fight in melee. Let me think about that 1 second. I don't want to, like I said, look too far ahead, but... Ammonite crab on Fossil Island. Really? I'd like to get something else to drop rather than just attack, but... Started a quest. Requirements. Bon Voyage. What does Bon Voyage require? Oh god, there's a lot you have to do for that. Okay, we're not going to fuck with that then. Go back to cows. I don't think I'm hitting hard enough yet to lose a lot of XP from them. This is a hard call though. It was feeling so good to get that much magic XP, right? Basically for free. I wish I could just survive to make it to those hobgoblins. Well, you know, I do have a bunch of food now, and I did bring my full mage set. So I can go there, try to use magic on the hobgoblins, train up magic a little bit higher to maybe like 30. And then, so I also have my teleport spell to get out of here, right? Okay. So let's try that. I've got armor. It should make it easier for me to survive in food. To find a safe spot for the hobgoblins. Maybe grab that brass key as well. Also got a lot of run energy from standing there and trying to Google stuff. So, there's a lot of bones in there. Can I get some of those bones? Big bones? It's supposed to be the infamous hill giants then. Shouldn't be fighting them though. Bad idea. Got it. How much prayer XP? 15. That's pretty good. Go to the usual 4. Alright, let's try to find somewhere to do something with these. Gobos. Gate's too far for sure. Boss in there? Might be. See if any of these zombies aggro on me. They do. We'll see how they are in terms of damage dealt. If I can avoid a lot of damage from them, maybe I can skill up just enough to stop them from aggroing me. I should figure out what the aggro level difference is. Aggro. Aggressiveness. Less than twice the level. Ooh, that's pretty rough. Lanta? You need 67 herb lore. Okay, that's not happening. Let me just look around this area while I'm standing somewhere that's pseudo-safe. Try to come up with a plan. Let's try something. Let's see. Hey, defense 22. I may have found the safe spot, assuming it's actually a thing. Go give it a try really quick, and if it doesn't work, we'll warp out and try to find something else. This might be it. Let me chill here for a minute, see what I can do. Don't walk out of it, you dumbass. Oh, God. Okay, I need to figure out how to not move in a situation like this, right? Maybe it's because they're too high level That's what it's got to be. Then it wants me to walk, so I have to right-click and pick attack, otherwise it's going to try to make me walk out. I should be able to keep this up. We'll see. If I get in trouble, I still have a little bit of food, and I can always warp out of here. So get me my magic to 30, and give me my Slayer XP, which is why we're even here in the first place. And hopefully we'll get a better monster from the Slayer trainer after this. God, I ran to it again. I just don't understand. Why does that keep happening? It's okay. It looks like it's easy enough for me to run away. I just have to be careful with how I initially target them. Hey, hit points 25. Very nice. Slayer 5. Okay, totally do this. This is doable. Oh god, this is not doable. Okay, so trying to figure out what was happening there. I think it has to do with you can only be aggroed by one monster at a time, but once a monster is safe spotted, other enemies are allowed to aggro you, if that makes sense. I think that's what's going on there. So given that, I think the right way to do this is to come in here with a shitload of food, just in case I make mistakes. Hey, Magic 26. Yeah, I think that's right. So come in here with food, prepare to screw up sometimes, and it's okay when I inevitably do. Not a big deal. Bring basically a full inventory of food, basically. Once this one dies, I'm going to try to teleport back to Varrock and buy some, or bring my food, or fill up my inventory with it. Slayer 6. Cool. Oh wow, that casts fast as hell. Okay, I thought it was going to be a long cast animation like the base one, Lumbridge Home Teleport. That's really good to know. So if I'm in trouble, I can just cast that and be fine. Fantastic. Okay. First things first, let's bury these bones. Oh, meat pie had multiple eats. That's cool. Alright, let's bring all of our chicken, I guess, right? Cool, then we can just warp out when we're done, and then when I eventually run out of food, that'll be a good reason to spend some time leveling up food. We'll just try to do this until the Slayer task is done, and we'll change it up. Now what I don't know... Does this Mithril Shield have... Shit, I mean to do that. That's okay. Like, having a free space is good. Magic -6. So we don't want the shield out. To unequip it. I didn't realize I could use a shield with a staff. Should see if there's a shield that doesn't have a magic penalty for exactly this purpose. Alright. Been a lot of talking lately, a lot of analysis because things haven't been exactly going to plan. But I think I'm going to mute and see if I can get back down there and get back in the spot and try to abuse it as much as I can. This will be good practice for me to learn exactly the mechanics on walking the wrong way and resetting mobs once they grab onto me and that sort of a thing. Aggro will be a good thing to understand, basically. Magic 27. Very cool. This is working now, I think. And Slayer 7. Cave bugs. Okay. Slayer is a really interesting skill. I kind of dig it. So, I don't mind doing magic. I know I was like, let's switch to attack, and then bailed on it immediately. So you gotta be kind of flexible with this game. I think I want to get magic as high as possible, because I both want all the teleports. That's pretty high priority for me. And I also want the level 55 ability. Like, getting a local Camelot teleport would be nice. I don't have to, like, track it manually. Limpwort route is worth quite a bit, huh? Yeah, so we'll just do magic here until the Slayer task triggers is complete. And then we'll find what the next thing is. And then depending on what they send us to do, I'll try to level up defense, attack, and strength, but it's a lower priority for me right now than magic and Slayer training in general. I just want to make sure I'm doing 2 things at once, right? Slayer 8. That wasn't so bad as far as resetting that guy. Could have been much worse. Just gotta get more practice and stuff like that. I'd like to loot this stuff and pick up the bones. Hey, magic 28. Awesome. But I'm not going to stress out about it too much. I'd rather have the full inventory of food in case something goes like horribly wrong. I'll watch out for any like particularly interesting drops. Cast runes are kind of interesting, but it's kind of a bummer. This is what I was talking about, where like I can't. All valuable drops I have to interpret in the context of frog legs, which are like 300,000 gold an hour for me. Well, it's hard for me to be excited about little side drops if they're not significantly beating that. Okay, maybe I'll dry up that market eventually and have to find something else. Slayer 9, it's happening. Hit points 26. Magic 29, back to back. I'm actually curious now whether this is a better safe spot or not. It's also surrounded on 3 sides. Might be more convenient. We'll try it. I think it maybe isn't because of the angle, but we'll see. I guess they both have angles that can be approached head-on from and get aggroed. Slayer 10. Nice. Oh, what's with the different color on that steel longsword? Maybe because it's a rarer drop? Huh. Cave crawlers. So, okay. Thinking about this. Thinking about my life. I know I'm all over the place with stating what my plans are, but I keep learning more and more about the game, so I have to change what I'm up to. I like the idea of trying to target 30 or even 40 in as many stats as possible so that we could just go on a questing extravaganza. My big problem with questing right now is that there's so many crazy quest requirements that I can't just run around the map and run up to quest givers that I see and expect them to be able to offer me a quest. So if I can try to get a bunch of things to like 30-40 range, that would be good. We know that once we get above 40, it starts to get stupid, right? So that's probably a good stopping point. I guess if you're not silly about this, you really don't need all this much food to do the safe spotting thing, do you? Oh. You'll be getting about 4 XP per kill, and the kills are few and far between if I were able to pick up the bones, so not a huge deal. Magic 30. Magical. What's the next big thing that I care about from magic? Instant Lumbridge teleport could be cool. Ooh, telekinetic grab. I do want that. So that makes it loot from a distance, right? 33. Firebolt. Level 3 enchant. Stuff gets crazy. Camelot teleport's 45. I don't know what teleport to house is, but I'm sure that that's cool. It's like player housing or something that I haven't uncovered yet. Crumble Undead. Falador teleports at 37, which would be convenient. Falador's kind of out of the way a little bit. I'm curious if they really expect you to have all this inventory space set aside for runes, or if there's a way to... Because I feel like if I wanted to have a few of each rune to cast all my spells, it would kill me on inventory space. Hey, Slayer 11. Rad. Might look that up really quick. Maybe that's what they intend you to do, only bring the runes that you want, but... Oh yeah, I think I can indefinitely safe spot between these two spaces, right? Because of the way I can only aggro by one thing at a time. Alright, so it looks like there is a way to get better rune storage, but it requires a bunch of Slayer reward points. Or a shitload of gold. Ooh. That would be... It would be permanently useful to have one of these pouches. Every 10th, 50th, 100th, 200th... It's like 2 million gold to get this pouch, but I could totally do it by farming the frog legs. Is that against my Copperman, Tin Man, whatever you want to call it, Grand Exchange rules? Age 31. Nice. Teleport to Lumbridge. Slayer 12. Going pretty well. 1250 Slayer reward points represents, based on my reading, that is an obscene amount of Slayer grinding. I feel like it's an amount of Slayer grinding that I might not get to ever, no matter how long I play this game, even if I level Slayer to the maximum level required to unlock all quests connected to it. So I need to think here. Make some life decisions. It's an extremely useful reward that I could technically earn with gold. Pay the gold price for it. Ooh, uncut emerald. Though it says this would be worth more cut, but it totally won't be. Hit points 27. Very cool. Okay. Based on my reading of this, it's possible it's not as brutal as I thought it was. It's more of an endgame thing that you can earn, I think. Let me read the math on the number of points you get here. So I'm looking at per 1,000th task. And 1,000 tasks is never happening, right? Not in a million years. 10 tasks is very possible. Best case scenario, I get 125 Slayer points for doing 10 tasks, which ain't great. Means I need to do that like 10 times, right? Magic 32, very nice. Telekinetic Grab is soon, so the one I'm excited about. Could just push magic all the way to 55. Get that high alchemy power. Seems pretty useful to have. But it'd certainly be helping me here. I could just alch this stuff. Oh, that thing's worth 7,000 GP? Hold up, I need to get that after I kill this. Never mind. I didn't see the value next to it. Whoops. My stupid bad, apparently. That's Slayer 14. I didn't bring the little crystal that tells me how far along I am, how many Hobgoblins I have remaining, so I'm just going to rely it to yell at me or stop giving me XP for them. Magic 33. That's telekinetic grab, I think. Grab that item I left on the ground stupidly before. So I'm really grokking this much better now that I see that you can have 2 different safe spots that you like bounce between in case things go wrong on one side. I don't know if that's unique to this area or if this sort of arrangement is available all throughout the game, but it certainly works. At this point, I just hope I don't run out of mind runes before I finish the Hobgoblin task, right? I feel like that's very possible. It is a little unfortunate. I'm basically throwing out all this food I got. I don't think I needed to eat any of it, now that I understand how this works, but I guess I'm glad I brought it for security. It allowed me to experiment instead of playing all panicky. And that's priceless. Interesting. I'm skilling up 3 skills at a time, and I don't know whether skill XP or apples or oranges between different kinds of skills, like if the curve is different or if it's the same amount for each level. But the point is to say that I'm getting 23k XP per hour right now, split across 3 skills from very low attention content. And that's about what I was getting at level 59 agility. Much higher attention content. Only 1 skill at a time. Hey, laziness hype. I feel like the way you gotta determine that is the item you're grabbing worth more than the law rune? If it is, then it's okay. Otherwise, don't bother, right? Oh dang, I'm gonna run out of air runes before I run out of mind runes. Shoot, I think I'm gonna have to make another trip for just a few of these dudes. I guess I could switch staffs temporarily. I do have all these fire runes that I'm not using. Let's do that. It's what do the Gen Z kids say? Big brain. But I'm burning through more runes overall. I guess I'm doing it for a reason. I'm trying to finish the Slayer task so I don't have to come back here or do another trip. Slayer 15. Feels super good. I didn't realize I just got XP for telekinetic grab. I guess that makes sense. Magic 34. Cool. And I guess if you have your air staff on you, that should only ever cost 1 law rune, right? So I totally forgot that this kill list thing was a feature. It's really cool that it like permanently logs all of the kills you ever get. I enjoy that quite a bit. So it may have been like 53. We gotta be close. Gotta be almost done, right? I don't think it was more than 60. I think it was in... At the first I thought it was in the 40s, and it must have been in the 50s. Hey, hit points 28. Didn't realize I was close. That's exciting. Got a lot of hit points levels doing this. Just say, I don't think it's the end of the world if I don't like very efficiently use runes, because inefficiently using runes costs me less than 1 trip's worth of frog legs. So long as that market still exists. So, gold efficiency is not something that I should stress out about. Time efficiency, maybe a little bit more, once I know something's inefficient. To that end, I might even end up making some money from all these limport routes. Should probably spend them on buying food or getting resources for food. I guess I could just go back to cows and just pick up the beef, cook a bunch of meat. Comparable amount of healing to what I spent today. I'm not at the point in the game where I'm really concerned about having a huge amount of healing items. Like, 3 healing is fine. Something that gives me wiggle room if I make a mistake. It looks like it's fighting like difficult enemies and bosses later. It seems like I'm gonna care more. I believe I didn't pick up that item worth 7,000. I didn't even notice the value on it until right before it despawned. That's still less than what I'd get from one stack of frog legs, but it's a pretty significant percentage of what I'd get from a stack of frog legs. Given that it was basically free and I could have grabbed it and left, you know. I think that one item is a pretty big portion of this GP listing here, right? 15.2k GP? An herb that you clean? Seriously? No kidding. Oh, well, that is significant. Oh, it's because there were two of them that dropped, and I didn't loot either of them. Got it. Kind of. Hey, Slayer 16. And I completed the task. Wonderful. Let's get the hell out of here then. That was fun. I love having an instant teleport. That's really changed everything from my perspective. Juliet, where art thou, Juliet? Have you seen my Juliet? What was me? I cannot find my Juliet. Perhaps if I could find her for you? She has this sort of hair. Great lips. She has lovely shoulders. Hair, lips, and shoulders. That should cut it down a bit. You're so good at this. Yes, okay, I'll let her know. Kiss her a give. Oh, you're good. You are good. Where can I find Juliet? So I can try and find her for you. Locked away to her father's house on the west side of Verar. Just gave you her stuff? Throw with considerable force. Anything else you can tell me about Juliet? Let's go on, don't let me interrupt. Can't remember, can you? Well, I guess he's here the whole time. Is that a quest, technically? Romeo and Juliet, I assume it would be called, right? Oh, it totally is. Okay. Gotcha. I thought that was a random event that popped up. Okay. We are at 34 magic. Finish the Slayer task. 16 Slayer. We have made strides. I think we started Slayer today was like 4, maybe, from the dwarves. Hobgoblins were quite a bit of a jump up from that. I think I'm going to go turn in the Slayer task and pick up whatever the next one is so we can be prepared for next session. Then we're going to take a break. Things are looking up. I'm enjoying leveling magic right now. I'm going to have to do a big round of purchases of runes. Actually, I might just do that now. We'll see. I do like bringing the armor with me. I mean, it's probably a weight thing to have all this stuff on me, but it made my life a lot easier in that specific case. Let's go ahead and replace my runes. I just want to have like a bajillion runes, basically. I don't want to have to think about it. Yeah. Yes, please. Just sell chaos runes. It's for a higher level thingamajig. That's cool. Oh, I didn't bring my coins. Shoot. Not planning to attack anything normally for now. Falador teleport would be great. I should check and see if Firebolt is something that's actually used for skilling up. I don't know how much damage it does. Let me look that up here before we make any decisions about which runes to buy. So I don't want to buy a million mind runes if chaos is where it's at this point, right? Hair runes. Oh, hill giants look like they're pretty good for safe spotting. Not answering my question though. I'm trying to find out whether this fire ability is going to be worth. Is it Firebolt? I assume it does just strictly more damage than my current fire ability. 0 damage awards 22.5 XP. I think... Let's see, is that one more level? It is. I'm really close to that. Okay. So maybe I'll buy some mind runes that I'll get rid of later. They're pretty cheap. Let's see, what do chaos runes cost? 90 coins. 1,000 for 100 of them. Only costs 1 chaos rune per cast. 90,000 for 1,000 of them, though. There's a Chaos Rune go for on the Grand Exchange. 78. So cheaper. 3 coins. Okay, so once we start talking about expensive runes, we want to get the body runes. Those are for curse leveling, I think. No, I like doing it at the same time as I don't want to do the splash curse leveling, even though it's AFK, because I'd like to be doing multiple things at once. Getting Slayer XP, hit points XP seems pretty good with magic. 3 air, 1 chaos, fire. All right, I'm gonna buy stuff so my farm doesn't seem quite so amazing anymore, does it? It's okay. We'll do another round of frog legs farming soon to pay for runes. Now we do that again with mind runes. Oh right, I should have bought it from the Grand Exchange. I forgot it was that much cheaper. Well, that was a huge fuck up, but I'll try not to stress out about it too hard. Basically just want to think about this as little as possible when I'm in the field, you know? Yeah, that's enough chaos runes though to take care of some business. Probably by buying them at the shop instead of from the Grand Exchange, I probably spent about a frog legs run extra. So, not good, not great, not terrible. It could be worse. Could be worse. Alright, we're going to go turn in the Slayer task, see what he has for us next, and then we're going to retire for a little bit. I'll end up trying out Firebolt and see if it's a significantly different XP per hour, given that it has a different gold cost per hour. I'm open to it. It could be worth doing in the long run. I just have to consider if it's significantly faster, figure out how many runs of frog legs it's going to take to make up the difference. It might not actually be that bad. The more I'm thinking about this, the more I think we should just say fuck it and push to 55 magic. I think it's consistent with the philosophy so far. This is probably going to be another thing that I'm going to have to sleep on, but the philosophy at the moment is all about trying to make the rest of our playthrough as convenient as possible. And I think unlocking a ton of teleports is moving in the right direction with that, as is getting the high alchemy ability. That one seems like that's a pretty big deal, getting high alchemy. Especially since it effectively only costs the 1 rune, right? You can get the fire rune for free. We just have to figure out how much that one costs to know when it's worth high alching something. Okay, like I said, I'll sleep on it. You've probably heard me in the last few episodes, ever since Agility was done, not being able to decide what we're going to focus on. You're basically hearing my live stream of consciousness. Normally I just think about that on my own when not playing the game and make a call. New task is to kill 64 bats. Oh, that's easy. Actually, I could do that. I could do defense or something while doing that, because the bats I don't think can really hurt me very much at all. That's cool. Okay. We'll pick up with bat murdering near Mauritania next time on Dragon Ball Z. Let me pop up on the roof so I don't get werewolf killed if I log off. Catch you next time, folks. Hey, we're back. Keep trying to mess around with OS Buddy settings and found this cool thing that highlights the entire clickable area for agility courses, which may have helped me a bit with that Valador course and the wall that I kept accidentally clicking the range on. We'll go ahead and just end this course to get out of here, and then we're going to go to the next Slayer task, which is bats. So I think, like I said, long-term goal, 55 magic. I want to get that high-level alchemy. Sounds very useful. But if I get a Slayer task where it seems like it would be a waste to use magic to kill it, I'll go ahead and try to train some combat tasks, which is, I think, what we're doing now. We've got bats as the task. Those should be really trivial for me to fight with a sword, so enjoy! Since I spent a ton of money on these new runes, at some point today I need to make another run back to the Tree Gnome Stronghold and get another like 100,000 gold worth of frog legs. I'd like to have enough runes that it's not something I have to constantly be thinking about. Stick to the frog legs until we find a better thing. I calculated it from last time and it's about 300,000 gold an hour at the current prices, so might not last forever, but so long as it's lasting, that's a lot for a newbie. Let's try to take advantage of it. Here are our bats. Advantage of these guys, they drop those bat bones, which give quite a bit more prayer XP. Started with 10 bat kills as far as me keeping track of it here. I think I needed like 50 or something. Defense 23. He's got a sack of bones in his back. Archaeologist. Really impressed at like the non-quest side NPCs in this game. Maybe he is a quest NPC. Sort of a snag. You have all the bones I'm going to use here, placed into some sort of order. Discover I'm a few short. Anything I can do to help with that? Mumble, mumble. Sorting these bones. Grabbing me some bones. Yes, sure. Where do you need me to dig? Dig? Must have got the wrong end of the stick. I need fresh, whole bones to replace ones that have become damaged. I love the mumbling sack. All of the quest NPCs have so much character in this game. I'm really impressed with it. Sorting out what bones I do have, I managed to lose or damage a few. If you can get me some fresh, unbroken bones used as replacements, I can get on with things. I should try to talk to all the quest NPCs I run into so I can get them added into my quest log if they're able to be done, if I meet the prerequisites for it. So I guess from going forward, I'm going to try to click on all the blue icons I see. If they turn me away, they turn me away. Giant rat and a giant bat. Goblin, a bear, a big frog, a ram, a unicorn, a monkey. Interesting. Wouldn't mind you sticking them in a pot and boil them in vinegar first if you don't mind. There's a wine. Oh, he wasn't kidding. Use my pot boiler if you want. What do you mean to boil them in vinegar? Interesting. Okay. I just came up here because I thought maybe there would be more bat spawns, but now we've got another quest. Very cool. Let's see if I can find that quest in my log. Rag and Bone Man. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm going to see how many of these quests that I can get to turn yellow in my quest log. That would be really convenient if I could just mark all of them. That might be a long session of just looking up all of the quests that have no skill prerequisites and accepting all of them. Just occurred to me that I've failed myself. It is a new day, and I'm already over here killing bats. I need to be doing 1 level of agility, right? That's what we had committed to, so once I finish this Bat Slayer task, I'll go do my 1 level of agility, and then we'll get back on Slayer. Magic if it's a difficult enemy, and combat if it's an easy enemy. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes to get 1 level of agility on the Seers Village course. Defense 24. Nice. Slayer 17. Cool. Slayer's slowing down a little bit. I don't know if you get XP that's proportional to the enemy that you're killing, like if it's less XP for easier mobs. Hobgoblins are pretty fast by comparison. I'll try to pay attention to that going forward. It's 43 kills right now. I really should, like, write down the number that they give me to kill, but I'm pretty sure it was less than 60 again. Alright, defense 25. Let's switch to strength. Hey, Slayer Master is done. Let's go turn that in. So while we were trying to figure out about the rune crafting pouch, I saw on the wiki that you get these Slayer points, but you don't get Slayer points for the first 4 tasks that you do. And then you get points based on your streak with the same Slayer Master. So it would be good to finish 4 tasks with this guy, but then after that, I need to make sure that I stick to whichever the highest master I can use is. Which I don't think I was looking at it during the grind there. I don't think I get access to another one until I get to combat 40, which we've got a ways to go on. So I might swap to a new master once we get to 40 and just keep sticking with this guy in the meantime. I'm going to turn in this quest, accept a new one, and then we're going to go pay our dues to the agility gods. We have to do 1 level of agility every day before we can do the rest of the fun stuff. So we'll try to do that. I'll probably use that to cap off this VOD. This is going to be a little bit shorter. The last one was a little bit longer because I wanted to finish off 60 agility. This one can be a little bit shorter than 8 hours, so we'll see. 15 ghouls. Don't know where those are. I'll have to Google them after we pay our dues to the agility gods. Right, now I can teleport places. Even if it's just to Varrock, that's so convenient. It was taking forever before to get around, loop back and forth between places. Alright, so I need to grab my Camelot teleport out of the bank to get to Seers village. We'll do that real quick, and then we'll get moving on this agility course. I really didn't realize that the teleports were that fast. I thought they were at least as long of a cast as the one you start with. It really is nuts that they're that simple. Okay, agility grind. Old school. Let's do this and hope we get a ton of Marks of Grace, because I still want to finish my outfit. I think we need to get a total of 35 in order to get the next step. Is there a bank in this town somewhere? There is. I'll stop by the bank after the first route and grab my Marks of Grace so we can track how close I am to the 35 I need for the headpiece. Excited to be back to getting Marks of Grace. Marks of Grace. Alright, so next we're going to stop at the bank, withdraw the ones we have so you can see the count in the inventory. Oh, I fell anyway. The game knew that I was putting it off. I guess I am climbing the bank. Oh hey, it's a random event. Sergeant Damien, as you were, soldier. Oh, that was weird. Maybe I didn't have the necessary unlock for it? Interesting. Alright. Bank, let's grab the Marks of Grace. The goal here is 35 marks. So we need another 16. Fingers crossed. I guess since we're here past the Camelot teleport, once I finish the agility course, I'll make a silent run for another bunch of stacks of frog legs. Catch my money back up from all those runes, specifically the Chaos runes I bought. So I popped into the OS Buddy Discord to try to figure out why it keeps crashing. I guess it has to do with OpenGL, which is a plugin I'm using. The reason I'm using OpenGL is to scale the interface so that y'all can see what I'm doing a little bit better, because the default interface size on a 1080p monitor is like, everything in the UI is super tiny. It's basically impossible to read once it gets encoded onto YouTube. Anyway, they advise using the Windows display scaling, which is what I did for the live stream. I can do that, but the problem is I have to change my display scaling every time I play RuneScape and then turn it off to play any other game on stream, so I'll look into it. I guess the benefit of doing that, you probably can't read the skill experience tracker up in the corner because the text is so small because it's also 1080p. That unfortunately does not scale with OpenGL turned on, so if I want that to be legible, I'm going to have to turn off OpenGL and switch to the Windows display scaling. So, might get a different UI the next time I start recording. I'm just going to keep doing it the way I'm doing it right now for now. But I guess part of the benefit of turning off OpenGL is that's the reason why it keeps crashing. Like whenever I access an option that causes a pop-up, OpenGL doesn't like pop-ups and OS Buddy crashes. So, long story short, next time the video clips, you're probably going to see a change to the UI. It might be easier to see things. So I think we're back to being under an hour per level, which is really nice. I'm guessing it's just that the closer you get to the next thing that levels you up, the slower things get every time. It's that breakpoint grinding thing I was talking about in the first stream. So, we'll be able to pay our taxes pretty easily and probably cut this video at or before it gets to 40 hours played. That's exciting. When it rains, it pours. Never fall, and whenever you do, you fall like 2 or 3 times in a row. Up to 25 marks of grace, just need 10 more for the hood. I'm not going to do that today, because we're just going to pay our taxes, pay the bills, do the 1 level of agility per day until they hit 68. The only thing that might break my rule about 1 level of agility per day is that if I really decide to switch to something that requires a full inventory, like mining, I don't think I can justify mining without having the full graceful set, so then I might burn through some more back-to-back agility grinding. I feel like putting some distance between the Falador course, which has caused non-clinical PTSD to me, has been helpful. I could probably handle this for quite a bit longer than 10 straight hours of Falador, but we're going to try to stick to 1 hour and then do other things between the 1 level at a time. When it rains, it pours. It is wild to me how popular this game is. There's all these worlds, and they've got tons of people on them, and there are people running agility courses on all of them. At all hours of the day. Like, I don't think I've seen a more populated MMO for all of the tasks in the game. Like, you cannot say that this is a dead game, right? So I finally understood. Yesterday when I was doing the magic grinding, or earlier in this video when I was doing the magic grinding, I tried to jump to a lower population server, and I was actually jumping to a lower ping server, which is probably higher population. I didn't realize that the value on the left was ping. I thought it was population. Now I know for next time in case I wanted to swap somewhere. That means that the number of people on the server is much larger. I was like, oh yeah, like 300 people, that seems like that's a lot for this old game. Nope. Alright, here it is. 61 agility. Feels good. I use a Slayer Tower medium spike chain climb agility shortcut. Okay, cool. Don't know what the Slayer Tower is yet. So we finished paying our taxes, and it was quite a bit faster. In fact, yeah, it's no longer takes an hour. It's now more like 40 minutes per level, which will probably slow down again later, but that's pretty cool. So that leaves us about 12 minutes left. Why don't we just go ahead and do the frog legs farming. I'll just do that completely silent, so it'll be a quick fast forward for the end, and then I'll do a sign off afterward. Enjoy speedy frog legs. Optimized frog legs, right? I got pretty good at doing it exactly. Oh my god, these frog legs are worth even more than when I was doing this yesterday. Yesterday it was 550 coins, now it's 677. This is so busted. Hopefully I'll have made all the money that I want out of this before I publish this video. I feel like even one other person trying to corner this market with me is gonna tank it. So I was looking on the RuneScape wiki, and there are definitely more efficient gold making methods than this one. This is like 300,000 an hour. I think there are a couple that are like in the millions per hour. But this requires no skills at all. Almost everything on the list requires like 70 plus and multiple skills, and this is just free. Anyone could do it. A level 1 character, a bot could do it. I'm surprised bots haven't cornered this. Shoot, I got distracted while I was researching. I was like, can I change my equipment now that my magic is higher? And then I got off my optimal swamp toad farming path, where you get exactly 28. So this is shameful, basically. Oh hey, random event. Beekeeper. I still don't understand how this one works. I might look it up this time so I don't screw it up. Click on a piece to stop it spinning and move it into place using the arrow buttons. When you click another part, it will stop spinning, but don't worry, they all do that. Put them into the white framework. I'm quickly looking up to make sure that's the way it's supposed to work. Make sure each piece rests on the shelf it sits on. Let's not have it right quite yet. Okay, hold on. Maybe watch a short video for it. Hey, we did it. Okay, the problem was just lining things up correctly. Something for your trouble. Flax. Okay, cool. Back to toads. It's interesting because of the beekeeper event, I ended up getting 100 energy, and you have just enough energy to fill the toads spawn just quickly enough that if you have enough energy to sprint between every toad, you will get to them exactly the moment they respawn. If you have run turned on. So I bet if you have 99 agility, you could do this even faster. This is where I wish I had that rune pouch. Ah, it's fine. Okay, toad price came down a little bit while I was out doing stuff. I was like 673. Are you kidding? Ah, okay, so those did not all immediately sell. So let's bring it back down a little bit to what it was yesterday, which was in a much more reasonable area, right? Okay, 574 is still a lot. Trying to do some organization there. I guess I need to figure out how to like permanently organize it for when I take stuff out and put it back in. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just don't have an intuition for it just yet. Okay, so we finished selling all the frog legs. We got to agility 61. We made a lot of progress with magic. We're at a little bit past the 40-hour mark. Another 8 hours set. The next video is going to go from hour 33 to 48 or so. Probably will be more magic grinding would be my guess. I think we're going to use, let me think about this. We're going to try to use Slayer as a way to kind of add some direction to this. So depending on where Slayer sends us, if it sends us to something easy, we'll kill it with melee. If it sends us to something difficult, we'll kill it with magic. And we'll end up skilling both in the process. But long-term goal is to get 55 magic. Maybe we'll bail on Slayer if Slayer stops making sense eventually, but right now I think it's working out pretty well. See you next time when we come back. Difficult.